And these are 20,000 fatal cases, so cases that don't get treated. People get bitten, don't get treated. Don't see post-bite. Let you know.
Let me just here.
Okay.
So thank you for doing.
Yeah, no problem, no problem. Yeah.
Volunteer,
You volunteer? Yeah, no problem at all.
Very kind for us.
As long as there's no rabies around.
Right.
I think annually worldwide it's about 60,000 people who get infected and also are fatally affected by it. 20,000 of those actually happen in India, and that's fatalities, not just people who get infected. This place has actually got a really good hold on the actual anti-rabies program. There's actually an annual program that goes around from the Tibet Charity point of view to control rabies. Such a program is actually lacking in a lot of places in India, especially the more rural areas where they can't actually get the anti-rabies vaccination, as well as the post-bite injection treatments for humans who get bitten. Well, like for the first 4 days, it's mainly around McLeod, and then after we go around to all the other smaller villages and smaller towns. So for a good 10 days, pretty much.
So you do that for 5 years, this program?
It's been going on for 5 years.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's great.
yeah. So today is actually the official World Rabies Day.
Wow, you're doing an amazing job.
It's very important for the protection of people from outside. They might spread word that don't go to India, it is full of rabid dogs.
Yeah, not good. Not good for the image.
Sugar and needle gives you.
Yeah.
Smell needle.
So Tenzin got in half a meal, and then the dog kind of freaked out, just ran off, and then I tried to get it again, and it's got a bit too wise already. But it should still get some immunity, especially the same dog was vaccinated last year as well, so there should be some reservoir immunity still left over. I was born in Malaysia. Parents were also born in Malaysia. Grandparents came over from India, Kerala, from South India. Studied most of my life in Malaysia up till the age of 20. At the age of 20, I went to Australia to study veterinary medicine. And then after that, I've got a job in just south of Perth, actually, 150 km south of Perth. And I've been working there for almost 3 years now.
Catch up.
Okay. Yes. Coming. Aku हो जाएगा पक्का 100%.
Just Googled online looking for places, and Tibet Charity seemed like one of those places that was under the radar. Just got a small little one in there. Tenzin's in the middle of doing it.
Okay. Yes, finish.
A lot of other places have been exploited by other vet NGOs and stuff like that. So I wanted to go somewhere where they really do need help, and they do need volunteers. And I've always wanted to come to Dharamsala as well, so perfect. It's a 3-vet practice, so the 3 vets, they're my boss, myself, and a junior vet. 90% of it is small animals, so pets, dogs, and cats.
He is not even bothering to see what he is.
He's never looking at you.
कल जाऊंगा मैं, कल परसों.
About 8% is production animals, so cattle, cows, sheep. And about 2% is wildlife work. So I do a lot of work with marsupials, kangaroos, wallabies, joeys, and quite a bit of reptiles as well. A lot of snake work involved as well. The wildlife thing was my own initiative because it's always been my interest. Oh yeah, he doesn't know. Yeah.
Did.
Oh okay. He doesn't go out much. No. Okay. He's a home boy. He's a home dog. Yeah. Okay, thank you. No problem. The contrast between Australia and India is that animal welfare in Australia is a lot better, so you don't really get much infectious diseases. Rabies is virtually unknown of in Australia as compared to India and other Asian countries as well. So in terms of actual clinical exposure for a vet, working in a country which has got good animal welfare is actually, it's not much good practical experience for a vet. So it's a catch-22. The animals have a good life, but the vets, in terms of practical skills, they don't really learn that much. So when you come to a country like this, you actually pick up a lot of hands-on street skills for a vet, and actually in the last 5 days I've actually seen a lot of action compared to what I would probably see in a month in Australia. So apart from the excitement factor, it's also a really good educational factor as well. Yeah. Oh, there was a bite from this morning. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it's like second dog of the morning. Yeah. Yeah, we've all been vaccinated, so we're all quite sick.
Because it's hard for them, so the dogs can be.
Yeah, they're not used to the contact sometimes, so they get a bit aggressive. Yeah. Same like the gloves.
Unlucky guy who is lacking in experience with the stray wild dogs.
Best way to learn. Get bitten. So over the last 5 days, it's been 5 days already since the program started, and it's been quite a hectic roller coaster ride, pretty much, I would say. Another tsunami.
No. Dia nak tertang dia jam macam tu. Kau nak roni terima tu.
ये मत ये सरदा
जमीन में प्रेस करना, ठीक है, जमीन में प्रेस करना.
Mas. Ya, pakai. Sun gol tengah. Sun gol tengah kali.
या या तीस
Cimbo short tak.
Oh, tak.
आती से कर दो कुत्ते में कोई नहीं ऐसे घासन कुछ ही नहीं करते क्या हो गया इतना दर्द क्यों मेरा पेंटिंग फटाफट
पेंटिंग अभी पेंटिंग अभी
ऐसे करना पड़ेगा
Saya dia
चलो
एक टेक्निक टीका लगा दो.
के लिए थोड़ा वो चीज करना पड़ेगा ना आपको
नील
पकड़ो ये
जैसे उन्होंने पकड़ा था ना वैसे गले से. हाँ हाँ, बस ऐसे.
बस ओके ले जाओ बस हो गया बस हो गया ओके ले जाओ चलो टिकट लगाने ना तो
ले.
Sadece kime diyor ki diyorlar diye.
जो भी मत नदी वो लगे
I've been bitten twice, which has been a really interesting experience. It's been quite interesting, but it also teaches you safety and awareness as well in terms of how to approach the animal, how to give the injection without, and most importantly, taking care of your primary safety as well.
no that is yeah cupcake I got injection yeah okay move back yeah quick no okay no problem oh sensu chasula
I mean, if you get bitten, then there's a whole lot of things that you've got to do to take care of yourself then.
हमको ना है मेरे भाई क्या हो गया वो हाँ
They asked me, you want need some tea and coffee? No, we need only dog. We want to give short. No more dude, only dog.
do you know how many dogs are there?
Not much, maybe 5, 6, something like that.
Basically, we split into two teams. Tenzin and Tukje have gone off further down, and we've come up to Kanyara, to Upper Kanyara. We've just done about a couple of dogs, and that's about it. The rest have all ran away, so it wasn't really a successful trip this time. But we'll move on to the next place, which is likely Sala, I think. Most of the Indian areas that we've been to, the dogs have been quite unfriendly and they tend to run away as compared to the more predominantly Tibetan areas, the monasteries, the schools. But the dogs are so much more, easy to handle as compared to the Indian areas.
Dog catcher, catcher, dog catcher.
No, the morning went pretty well actually. It's just that now we're missing two dog catchers. One's out of commission, so it's making it a bit slower. That's all. A bit hopeless without the dog catcher.
Okay, thank you very much. Some dog gets her
Yeah, you can remove this.
rabies. चलो नहीं लगा तो क्लिनिक में लगा दें.
You can actually remove it now, because now it's a bit separated from the muscle. Really. It's only in the skin now mainly lah.
Yeah.
I think firstly do the chemotherapy.
Yeah,
right?
do until it gets smaller. Yeah,
And then if it doesn't regress, then we will remove.
Yeah.
It was this much big when I saw it first. Now I think the size is this much.
And it's on Win Christine, isn't it?
Yeah.
I've done a few space ovarian hysterectomy, so that's removal of the female reproductive organs. And I've also treated a few paralyzed animals, those animals that have been hit by cars. And also those with skin problems and maggot wounds as well. How old is the puppy? Like around here?
Maybe around
2 weeks. So just a puppy with a wound. And they've used iodine to kind of disinfect it. But like Tenzin was saying, because the humidity here and the flies, the main complication would be a maggot wound, which will kind of fester and just make the infection a lot worse as well. So it's best to stay on top of it, some antibiotics, and to make sure that the wound is kept clean at all times. It's actually instilled this voluntary spirit. I would like to keep doing this on an annual basis, not necessarily in the same place, but maybe move around, see which other projects or which other NGOs need my help.
She fell down from the roof, then maybe 2 floors, and then she was completely paralysis.
We can't do anything for that.
Are they getting a wheelchair?
Now they got the wheelchair. Maybe tomorrow, day after tomorrow. Dr. Catherine say. Then she will. The whole life will be fine.
Owning a veterinary practice in Australia is actually a really lucrative venture compared to what Tibet Charity does. Tibet Charity strictly goes on donations. Even when people from around the McLeod or Dharamsala come in and bring the animals in, they don't get charged unless it's a major procedure, a surgery. We've got a lot more equipment for diagnostic procedures, so X-rays, ultrasound. So in the Tibet Charity Clinic, you really got to make do with what you have. So it's almost kind of like being a MacGyver of the vet world. You just got to be a bit more resourceful here. It's my last day today. About to leave to Delhi in about 2 hours. It's been quite an incredible, good 15 days. I've learned quite a fair bit, and I've also, I think most importantly, is the camaraderie with the team, especially from the Tibet Charity Animal Center. I think I've made some really good friends here. It has been quite challenging because you're running uphills, you're chasing dogs, you're leaping over fences, and jumping into drains and stuff like that. So, and trying to avoid being bitten, most importantly, a lesson that I will personally take to heart, and as a take-home message for me. A lot of people told me coming to India to volunteer would be out of your comfort zone, but I think it has been initially, but I think if you can be happy out of your comfort zone, you can be happy anywhere else in the world. And I'm glad I was part of this project. The rabies problem is we've just hit the tip of the iceberg here. There's a lot more places that needs focusing on. It's an adventure, and I've really enjoyed myself.